For your mobile.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
You can also click on video to see all our YouTube videos. Call TV News, a 24-hour news station.
Welcome back on the program, still on skill acquisition, boosting local production and manpower. Now, the second set of guests I have in the studio, we have our popular guest, Bola Oba, entrepreneur and public affairs analyst. Good morning.
Thank you very much.
And also joining us is an engineer, Ugochukwu. Thank you very much for joining us. Let me start with you. You're an engineer. Tell us your experience when you were practicing in Nigeria and when you left the shores of this country to practice abroad.
Fantastic question and fantastic experience. I must say, I graduated from Federal University of Technology, Mina, in 1997 with a degree in civil engineering. And after that, I worked with Mobile Producing for a year because I went to university with a scholarship from Mobile. And also, I had an opportunity to be involved with a few other companies in Nigeria, Daewoo Construction and Mitan Nigeria Limited. Apparently did most of the Uyo Township Road projects. Now, it was gloomy. It was good for me. I thought I was, progressing in my career. I was doing quite well. And in 2002, I had an opportunity to move over to England to continue with my career. And, being successful in Nigeria, I tried to take that across to England, only to find out that there's a shortfall in what I could offer as an engineer. And obviously, that brings me to maybe where we are going today.
What exactly? So, and that's where you are going. What exactly is a shortfall?
What I think is a shortfall is as a university student, I was embedded in the core academic pursuits. Getting my foundation engineering, structural engineering, engineering mathematics. I was doing quite well. I was, on top of my game in my classes. I was a 4-pointer. So that tells you how, top up there I was in my academics. Now, when I got to work here in Nigeria, I did well out there as a site engineer, but when I went to England, the reality kicked in. It's not about the academics. It's about how you sell yourself as an engineer, how you get the knowledge that academic knowledge, how you transfer this knowledge to real engineering. That's where the reality kicks in. Most of us graduate with a first degree or second degree, but out there, when it gets to doing the real engineering, you find out that you've got a long way to go.
Okay,
that's where I found myself.
Let me just come in here. Is that why we've been having a series of building collapse in the country?
I would say partly yes. The quality that we produce, the quality of engineers that we produce, don't get me wrong, there's still some good engineers here, but the overall, the quality they will produce, I don't think the skill base is there. The skill base is lacking. There are some core things that are required for every engineer, and those things are lacking. I'll give you an instance. My going to England, like Bola said, I was confronted. I applied for a job. I got a job. But when I got there, I found out as an engineer in England, I'm supposed to be using the surveying instrument. I haven't got surveyor. As an engineer, I'm expected to know how to use the surveying instrument. And imagine working in Nigeria for 7 years, 8 years before I left for England. I never had an opportunity to work with those instruments. And that's what I'm talking about.
Well, it seems, let me borrow the word from the legal profession. There's a lacuna here. How do we tend to balance this, having skill acquisition? Let me talk to you, Bola, about this time. You're an entrepreneur. How do we ensure that our youth, engineers, those in school, get these skills that these people have been saying?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I have, in the last 7 years of my life, most of your viewers, they watch a video that you show regularly, a video series that you show regularly called the Automedics. About 7 years ago, I went to the engineer that most of them see do that program, and I told him, you know what, You are a fantastic automotive mechatronics engineer, but you are functioning in an environment that is a desert. Beyond your shop now, if I need to repair some of my very good vehicles, who do I go to? And the guy said, he looked at me, was befuddled, and he said, what should I do? I said, you know what? Let's strategize by you do the core thing. That is, train those that I will get for you so that we can multiply you in thousands of Nigeria. 7 years down the road, a business that had one branch in Lagos now has 16 across Nigeria, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Ibadan. You know what? Because I made him to realize that it was imperative for him to impart the knowledge he has in young Nigeria. As I'm talking to you now, he's in America. He's going to be spending 2 months in America, and all the businesses are running. Because you know what? In the last 7 years, I have produced some of the best automotive engineers in Nigeria. If I go to any city of Nigeria, I have a boy there or a girl who is a multi-millionaire running his own business, running his shop, and an employer of labor. 2 years ago, it dawned on me when I suffered the frustration on a building project. If I could do it in automotive mechatronics, I should be able to do it in construction. This gentleman lives in Dubai, works in Dubai. In fact, for his employers to leave him, it was difficult. This gentleman was one of those who constructed the Dubai International Airport that people fly to. A humongous engineering thing. He is one of those who, when they were rehabilitating the tarmac of the Dubai airport, 80 days, what took months in Nigeria, he was the only black engineer in this thing. Malcolm functions as a carpenter in the US. And you know, in the US, when you travel to the US, you go to some of those states, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and you see houses built with woods. Good looking houses, beautiful houses. He has some projects in Abuja that he built with wood. Yami trained in South Africa for plumbing after graduating at OAU as a building engineer or as a building technologist. You know what? I had to beg each one of them that Nigeria needs you. India today is what India is. China today is what China is, because the diasporians decided to go give back to their nations. These guys are doing ultra successfully well. This is one of his jobs. This job he just finished not too long ago in Dubai.
This is in Dubai.
Yeah, this is in Dubai. He was the engineer that oversaw. I visited him when he was doing some of this job, and then he took me. He drove me to this, and I know people from all parts of the world. You know, Indians, Pakistanis, white. This thing, we answer to it.
What building is this?
This is a NASA Arena building in Dubai.
Okay.
Apparently, it's a model of a building taken from Holland. The Crown Prince of Dubai, who runs the youth ministry, decided to put this up in Dubai, and is partnering with the Holland company. But we did the construction for him.
Okay.
Apparently, just in front of that, you'd see that's a green layout, but in that green layer is a basement, utility, and a warm-up court buried below the ground.
You are looking ostensibly at you know, a greenery. Yeah, you are looking at floral ornamentation,
but there's a building behind it.
Fantastic.
So there's a mini stadium beneath the ground.
There's a warm-up court courts for the players to warm up before they come into the stadium to play. This is going to be a world arena for football. 7-a-side, 5-a-side. There's going to be world tournaments, and it's going to be held in that.
And all this has been done by Nigerians.
Yes.
We can replicate this here in the country.
We can replicate.
But just a moment, let's quickly open the phone lines to get the pulse of Nigerians. How can they be part of this? Talking about skill acquisition, that is what we are looking at.
Yeah, the good thing is Bola, over the last 2 years, has been working on me. He's been to Dubai twice to have a kind discussion with me, telling me how important it is to get back to base and transfer some of this knowledge to people. And I do understand, I do see where it's coming from. If I've got two options, I can be selfish and say, look, I'm too busy, which I am. But I'm also thinking about other people, the generations beyond me, my younger ones, my kindred men, and the Nigerians as a whole. And I think the youth needs to be impacted knowledge. If Nigerians have knowledge, we go far. With the little I gained when I went to England, trainings and
just a moment, we have a caller.
I've been able to do this.
Biodun is calling us from Kaduna State. Good morning, Biodun. Let's have your comments, please. Biodun, you are on live. Go on with your comment, please.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm live from Kaduna State. I called sometime because of what the youth said for Kaduna, but that's bygone. So now I'm calling for the as candidates. I want to register, please. I'm very, very interested.
Sorry,
so I don't know how.
What do you do?
Hello, Biodun. What do you do for a living? Okay.
I read business administration.
Yeah.
But I do a lot of construction for people. Little construction. I oversee site projects.
Just a moment, Biodun.
Sorry. Just to let you know that you can do anything and still come into construction.
Yes.
That's the good thing about construction. And I can give you a testimony. When I was in England, I came across a couple of Nigerians roaming around the street. One was a psychology student, a lady, and I did encourage him to do some of the skill acquisition I did in England. And today she's working as a quantity surveyor. In fact, she's a senior quantity surveyor for Enterprise Group. You can Google her, Chioma Ejimogu. She was one of my students I mentored when I was in England. And I've got lots of them working in England at the moment. So,
Biodun, are you still on the line?
Yes, I am.
So get the contact from Mr. Bola. You can always send a text message or WhatsApp. Get across, and you'll be surprised what happens to you.
Okay.
Thank
so
you
how
very
do
much.
the young people get to this?
What engineer could just say. Some of the best instructors I have in automotive mechatronics today did journalism, did business admin. You know what you need to get into anything in life today, because of the advantage of digitalization, is passion. To enroll for any of the courses, be it carpentry that Malcolm Okosu is in charge of, be it plumbing that Yemi is in charge of, be it site engineering that engineer Ugo is in charge of, and we have another engineer, Falaye, who is a returnee from, he was a lecturer at the University of Glamorgan, now University of South Wales. These people are going to be training people in these specialties, and to get enrolled for the courses.
Just a moment, we have another caller. Calvin is calling us from Abuja. Good morning. Let's have your contributions, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I have been listening to what you people have been discussing, and actually I want to be a candidate too, but I'm into furnishing, total construction entirely. I work in the site, and I want to get more knowledge on what they are discussing here, because normally in my own job I do as a furnisher, I still construct tools for myself to meet up my job, because some of the tools we cannot buy. So I have this idea or talent that I always make my own tools to meet up my job. But I want somewhere that I can go that will help me build this skill I have. That is why I'm calling. I don't know how I'll get to you people.
Kaban, just to cut you in, it's good you've called. Get hold of this number. Send an SMS. We could advise you more. To be honest, don't be left out there. I was in your position some time ago. And because you have the enthusiasm and you're willing to go further, you will get there. That's why I tell people like yourself. And again, we have programs that would accommodate people like you. Again, I've not said this, but we are in talks with EdExcel UK, which is an awarding body. They will award NVQ qualifications to people like you.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, you will have a qualification to match.
No problem. I want to say thank you very much, Kabam. You've made.
Is in Abuja.
All right.
He could go to a place in in Jabi called Coca-Cola.
All right.
There are two works of builder Marco Mokosun there. You will see two houses built with wooden houses. Looking at the houses, you will see in America, Malcolm built them from scratch. Is in a park in Coca-Cola, Jabi, in Abuja.
Okay.
To cut a long story short, if anybody is interested in these transformative training programs, be you wanting to upgrade your skills, be you a newcomer wanting to specialize either in plumbing, carpentry, whatever, just test your name and the course you are interested in, site engineering, test it to 080 6686.
You can take it again.
080 80 66 86. 080 80 6686. Don't call. Just test your name and the course you are interested in, and we'll take it on from there.
Okay, for those, do you have any other Twitter handle, Facebook?
At Bola Oba.
Okay.
The Twitter handle at Bola Oba. Facebook Bola Oba. But I would rather prefer the text message because we are owning in this thing now.
All right.
Text message will be better.
But let's look at it, gentlemen. How cost effective will this be?
The cost when I did my training, it was 4 weeks course, and I remember paying about £1,000 in England. This was 2001. Now, for the knowledge you are about to get, cost cannot be compared to the knowledge.
Okay.
I did that then, and what I'm getting today, I tell people the level I've gotten to today is because of the skill I acquired. I had to go back to train to use the instruments, to know how to manage sites and how to manage quality, how to check concrete, how to check reinforcements, everything that I need to know as an engineer. I went and learned it, and then I got back into my career, and I've been blossoming ever since.
I
want to win something.
The high end of the courses we are offering is site engineering. Site engineering is the most expensive. Plumbing and carpentry, not as expensive. But having said that, let me give you. I have tried my best not to do the typical Nigerian game. If you look, this gentleman is a senior.
Just a moment, we have an international call. Ego Chukwu is calling us out.
Yeah, Emmanuel Ajaye, I'm very grateful. And your guest over there. You see, in Nigeria, honestly speaking, we have talented people who can make things happen. But the problem that everyone is facing is that there are some people that are not ready to build. Even if others are trying to make that
initiative.
That is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like these two young men now over there, they have seen a lot. Do you understand? And they have to bring it to the entity called Nigeria. But when they are doing all those things, there are some people who did not even want it. Like the Fulani herdsmen, they don't want it. That is the problem. That is the area that I myself I am convinced. If we can report it.
I've been trying to refrain from saying this.
Okay.
But circumstances have pushed me to it.
Okay.
When the last time I visited Ugo in Dubai, he looked me straight in the eyes. He said, Mr. Abba, look, these are thousands of Pakistani, these are thousands of Nepalese and Indians working on construction sites. A boy who came to Dubai about 2.5 years ago as a steel this thing, for him, that boy had to go to his country to go and build about 1,000 for a major job because there is a new city that is developing. He said, I would love my people to be on these jobs, but the problem is the skill set. I promise, I am not an engineer. I am just an entrepreneur and I have enough exposure. I promise that if you pass through these courses and you are an A-lister, like I did in automotive by starting branches today with the young men who passed through brilliantly, the sky is the limit.
Well, you have it there coming from Bolo about public affairs analyst and an entrepreneur, that the sky would definitely be the limit.
Because their construction sites all over the world, they are looking for skilled people.
Thank you very much for coming in. So you don't have any plights or any saying that you have to fail. This is an opportunity for you to tap into this, and definitely things will get better for you. But speaking with Gochukunto, an engineer, and also Boloba, thank you very much for coming. Well, you're not a laborer. You are trying to impact into the lives of young ones. So no more excuse for failure. Take the bull by the horn till I come your way again with another episode of Core Digest. I remain Emmanuel Ajayi. Let's come together and make Nigeria great again.
Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, treasure looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. They don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I say to hell
On
with it.
Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has a right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.